Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. Last week, I revisited this game after nearly 2 years to play the Karamari Hospital DLC, where we kind of started to pull back the veil of that cutesy facade on this game, which the base game did as well, but I feel like in the Karamari Hospital DLC, it leaned far more into those true horror influences, such as things like Fatal Frame and Silent Hill. And we started to learn a little bit more about who Spooky herself is. And I'm really hoping this DLC, which released nearly 5 years later in 2020, will shed a little more light on the actual context of the entire experience. Now this is a different menu. I mean, Karamari Hospital had a different menu as well, but this is even more different. I'm really curious to know if the tone will change that radically. Controls, okay, it's all the same, except shake doll left click. And this time music boxes will save the game. Okay. Ooh. And here we are in the classic labyrinth. Now, according to the store page, this takes place directly after Karamari Hospital. And if you'll remember, the spirit beyond the darkened glass said that we need to shut this place down. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to fulfill that request. Now I'm wondering if these DLCs, although they do seem to continue from one another, won't function as a sort of alternate ending to the base game, which had different endings depending on your actions, but when I played, it ended with me, because I had killed some enemies, actually becoming an axe-wielding experiment, set to wander these halls for eternity. But the last DLC, it started us off at floor 995, so maybe this is like a branch. The air here is heavy with must and mold. Your lungs seem to struggle as you inhale. Your ability to heal is hindered in this place. Oh, we won't be able to just Call of Duty style wait it out in another room anymore. For the first time, we're actually going to have to be considering survival horror, which, if the lock on this door is anything to go by, maybe, as the last part was inspired by Silent Hill, maybe this one is inspired by Resident Evil. It said we can save at music boxes. What is that? It's like there's a ghostly hand superimposed caressing the painting as I look at it. Your spirit has been recorded. But the box closed and stopped playing music. And there's just a little bit of a bleed on the edge of the top. Can I only save once per location? I can't interact with this doll at all. You're a sprite, not a 3D model. And the way it's handling the angles is a little bit weird. It's like there's a hard transition where I'll see you change perspectives. Now, this door, of course, is going to be locked, yeah. So I guess that hand indicates when I can interact with something. A bit of a weird way of showing it, but then again, this has always been a weird game. Hi, I really don't like it when your angle abruptly turns to face me. I suppose that means I can examine you. Something about this doll draws you to it. Pick up the doll? I suppose. So you'll just be looking up at me this whole time, huh? Okay, where to? Congratulations, GL Labs associate. You have been volunteered for our Proud Parent program. You have been given a doll, and your duty is to train the soul entrapped within. To confine it to the doll, you must keep it in good spirits and give it attention. Many of the beta candidates were children when they died and will likely attach themselves without problems. But there may be times when punishment or extraction of spirit energy is necessary. The energy can feel quite replenishing, but please refrain from abuse as it negatively affects the ghost. In the event of husk rejection or injury, GL Labs is not responsible under any circumstance. So we're just carrying around ghost children as like Tamagotchis? Okay, well I guess I'm responsible for this one now. Does a broken one mean that a spirit is wandering about? Now it said I can press left click to shake a doll. Is that how I apply punishment if need be? Map picked up, press M to use. Okay. Wait, did something just happen with the... Oh, okay, I think that was the eye going over this note. I was gonna say, I thought the face just did something, but I wasn't looking. Northside Studies, and there's a clock ticking away. So although there's no longer a room counter, opting instead for a fixed map layout, will that timer mean something to us? There's all these taxidermies, but 2 of them are missing. The way these models are made really reminds me of Lost in Vivo. And as with everything from this developer, the soundtrack is fantastic and eerie. What was that? Okay, I've been jump scared by taxidermy. We fulfilled that horror trope. There's directional clicking all around, and it's almost like there's film effects on my screen. I was a good girl all day long, but when Dad got home, he was all wrong. So I hid in my room until he was gone, and then I shot him in the face at 5:45. His gun was so shiny, sparkly, and neat, and his face was so mushy, gushy, squishy. I wanted to shoot more people, but my mom made me sleepy. Now I'm in this weird house with all these weird white coat people, and they won't give me a gun. Okay, that went in a very different direction from where we started. Is that the spirit that's in the doll? I could have sworn her eyes just moved as I transitioned between the doorway. Also, is there something I'm meant to be gathering from these woods? It's subtle, but that looks like maybe a small person, like a child, walking the path into the woods. I swear she's moving. I swear her facial expression just changed slightly. Something happened. All these portrait frames are empty. The longer it's quiet, the more I fear what's going to eventually happen. Hedge clippers? It's locked, of course. I'm sure those will be useful for something. Right now, we also have to remember to find a key for that door in the main room. It's almost like an AI-generated portrait of a little girl. And diagrams of what looks like some kind of lamprey. And some other things I don't recognize. Let's find out what's on our right. Shortest thing first. I know she's moving. I know she's turning her head between rooms. It looks like a picture of an attic. I'm sorry with this commentary, I'm just kind of reporting what I see, but there's so much to take in. GL Labs ID 1863, log 23. We've made progress, but none of it has been ideal. We developed a system to summon and contain these spirits, but we've yet to find a suitable container. It's like 13 ghosts. When the director first summoned his daughter back from the dead, we were astonished. But she didn't stay here long. Without something proper to tether the spirits back to the earth, they simply fade away. If we assume that the note in Karamari Hospital is about Spooky, it was his father who wrote that note. So maybe... Okay, this is starting to make a little more sense. So he created this project for harvesting souls in an attempt to bring his daughter back and tether her to the earth in some physical form. We tried simple jars, vases, and the like at first, but these containers limited the functions of the spirits. We've had minor success using humanoid vessels, but the spirits are still tied to the physical damage of the containers, and are thus too fragile. Now remember, when we started Karamari Hospital DLC, Spooky mentioned that she didn't even know that these rooms were down here. This is all stuff that's probably unknown even to her. She may not have retained her full memories. Now if we walk to the end of this hall... and dance with some devils. Down here should bring us back to where we started. Yes, we unlock it from the other side. And here we are. Okay. And I can hear that music box going again, meaning we can save again. I wonder if all I have to do is leave and come back, or if it'll be renewed after I hit certain milestones. Okay, let's try this door right here before we head for the garden. Once again, continuing the tradition of nonsensical windows that shouldn't be able to exist this deep underground. 3 crows. Odd thing to taxidermy, but also an odd size for them to come in. I imagine something's going to happen if I try to interact with this piano. It sounds out of tune. West Wing key picked up. I bet that goes to the door that we found in the beginning. What are you? You're like deformed babies, but full-sized. Can you? Oh no. Are you guys just going to be showing up all over the place now? I haven't seen the garden yet. That won't unlock you. I need to get that. I can shake the doll by left-clicking, but I can't swing the axe when I'm holding it. Is there a way for me to put it down? I've still yet to find out what that weird clicking is. Something that I've noticed about this developer that they do really, really well, and it was very present in Lost in Vivo, is that there would be some areas that just have weird quirks that don't necessarily tie into the story or gameplay, but are just kind of there. I can shoot past them. Oh, there's 3 of you. I can shoot past them if I sprint. No, I need something to slice through. With my healing abilities limited, it's not going to come back. I have to really be careful going through there. I can put the doll down, meaning I could potentially go back out and fight them. I'm going to continue carrying it with me for now. See, now I don't want to save. 2 child-sized beds and 1 broken mirror. If the purpose of these dolls was containment of children's spirits, maybe they tried to give them a place to live as well? And then again, they did talk about attempting to use humanoid vessels, so this may also bring up much worse implications. More of you. Great. Oh! Oh! Should have seen it coming. Should have seen it coming. Now I'm back onto you guys. Okay, juke around. I'm not really... I feel like my... I can't jump. I can't jump. I can't jump. Oh, you guys are swarming all over now. I'm gonna have to be fast. Okay, I need a second to gather my thoughts. Okay, so... I think that pretty much confirms what I was just talking about. Those must be the human vessels that they attempted to use. But they're certainly not regular-sized babies, so... maybe they're, like, grown by GL Labs for this specific purpose? In any case, I'm not sure where to go. Oh, I think here was where I was just now. You guys are in, like, every room. Are we having a tea party? I can put the doll down at these stations. So I think there are probably going to be times where I'm meant to put it down. Tea room for proud parent volunteers. Instruction manual. This room functions to relieve stress and replenish spirit energy in the event that the doll has lost potency. You may use this function by placing the doll upon the pedestal and sitting across from it. In the event of husk rejection or injury, GL Labs is not responsible under any circumstances. Good luck, proud parent. The doll moves its head when I shake it as well. No, I do get the axe back. What does this mean? Is this E-meter supposed to be indicating a replenishment of the spiritual energy? Which I guess is now fulfilled. Why is this so oddly nice? Ostensibly carrying around the spirit of a dead child in this doll, but oddly enough, I do feel like a weird attachment to it. I mean, the way it was described at first led me to believe that this was going to be something that hinders my progress, that's more of a burden or an anchor that I have to drag through, but I don't know why. I feel like a responsibility to carry this thing through to the end. Okay, well, let's get back to it. Sorry. But what does shaking you do? I still don't understand that. Alright, around you. They must have some kind of use, right? Those crates are labeled doll batch. Okay. Can I maybe use the axe? Oh, you act as a key! Which means that I have to leave you there in order to get through. So some of these will function as pressure plates. Can I break my way in? No. Another one. I got the winding clock key! Okay. Get you. Out we go. That was... Whew. Man, I feel like I'm really slacking on the commentary today, but it's all just introducing these new elements at me so quickly, and I'm having a hard time contextualizing it. It is just too early in the morning. Now I know why it was behind a containment door. Now those boxes said Doll Batch 3.0. Maybe what we're seeing is some twisted result to try and give them some more mobility? I'm having flashbacks to a game that I played recently in its entirety, although I can't tell you what it is because if you haven't seen that yet, it's kind of a spoiler. Now I want to see if anything's happened to drain your spiritual energy. It doesn't look like it. I just want to get a gauge for what that bar means or what happens when it reaches 0. Now let's have a look at that map. This is the tea room. And if we loop around that corner, we can see the root cellar, as well as another room off to the side. We'll hit that room to the side first. But I've also still yet to attempt to use the West Wing key. What's that hole? What's that hole in the wall? And more importantly, what's behind the curtain? This is one of those beds, but what's occupying it? I can't see anything else here. Sometimes it's worse to be left wondering. Access card required, okay. That's our cue to head back to the West Wing. I think sitting down... I wasn't paying attention, but I think sitting down in the tea room may have replenished my health as well.
Oh, hey! There you are! I was wondering where you were. I'd forgotten about this place. So many tortured souls are here. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go check on something. See you later.
I've always loved the voice acting for Spooky, but let's go ahead and save. I guess... Yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be playing music for it to be working. But did you hear the way she talked about that? I mean, she's always had that kind of, like, nonchalant attitude throughout these games, but here... there was, like, that little bit of sadness in her voice as she said she had forgotten about this place. I probably have to go get the hedge clippers, right? What was that? Something just happened right there, right as I was crossing the threshold. Something new has spawned. Change the time on the clock. Change the time to what? The current time that it gives me as I walk in? Or is there a clue somewhere? And what was that static that started to happen just as I walked through? I assumed that was a new enemy encounter, but there's nothing here now. Oh, if I shake you enough, you cover your eyes. But I really get the feeling that that's a bad thing. I bet that if I take you back... I bet that if I take you back to the tea room, that'll go away as I replenish you. Right? I'm sorry, I still don't understand how that works. While I'm here, I should also be on the lookout for something to change that clock, too. There it is again. What are... Oh, you're still out and about! Ugh. That thing is still patrolling. It can show up at any time. Okay, well, I intend to take advantage of that, then. That means we can go back to the storage area for free. Let's place you here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to shake you. I wish I knew what that did. Is there anything else here? Anything I need to look at? No, it doesn't seem so. I'm a little... Oh, wait, there's a note here that I didn't see before. I don't fit in this. I can't stretch or else I break. They did this to me. Huh. So you guys are in here. There's a note, but I think I have to... Okay, I think what I have to do... is put you down right here, and I think I have to kill those enemies in order to read that note. The thing that worries me, though... Like, the thing that really worries me is that in the original game, you were judged in the ending based on how many enemies you had killed with the axe. So what'll happen if I'm doing this? Okay, we're having difficulty containing one of the stronger spirits. The dolls that we use to hold them keep stretching out and breaking, and then we have to summon the spirit all over again. Theoretically, the size of the vessel shouldn't matter, but it complains that it's all too small. So for now, it's locked up behind an emergency containment door. Let's try interacting with this hole, I suppose. There's a hole here. Reach inside. Something grasps your hand. Ah! I can't get away! I can't get away! Well, that was not smart. How do I get my health back? It doesn't seem to come from sitting down. Okay, let's think about this logically. When you're trying to solve puzzles, you always have to try and think about the order that things are coming at you in. So we found the key to the West Wing, went through, found the tea room, got the key to the clock room from the storage, meaning that it's probably something in the West Wing that would hint at where we have to go. Alright, all I can think now is that maybe it's something to do with... No. Something to do with one of the notes. Oh, I'm gonna have to fight you guys every time. I swear to Christ, if this is actually what it is. Alright, let's try it. 45, finally. God. Ah, that is so annoying. That is so stupid that I had to revisit that note before and just... Because I didn't even remember that it had said a time on there. And I thought, okay, that note's ancient history. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it anymore, and then afterwards I assumed that because this wasn't accessible until after I got to the West Wing, that if there were to be any kind of clue, it would be in the West Wing. Hello? You weren't here before? All the enemies have, like, crystallized or something, turned into huge blobs of meat. Alright, bonding time. I want to see where you're at. Nothing seems to affect you except for me shaking you, but I've still yet to determine what that actually does. Oh, I see. She acts as a healer. Because I was trying to figure out, like... So I realized at this point that my health doesn't regenerate slowly over time. It doesn't change when I go between areas. So I was thinking, how have I been healing? And I realized that's what it is. She's basically a health pack. But I wonder if I won't be negatively judged for doing so, because the game certainly seems to want to make me feel bad about that from the way she covers her eyes when I do it too much. But now we have the means to get through this barbed wire and enter the garden. That doesn't make the slightest bit of sense. Now, we were really far underground even in the base game, but if you'll recall, that elevator absolutely plummeted at the start of Karamari Hospital, so how can we be looking up at a clear sky? Monica, 1929 to 1968, beloved by all. My dear Monica, although it was difficult, I've respected your wishes and let you rest. I miss you every day. I miss you so much. I'm still going to try to save our daughter. I know it's not what you wanted, but I've already gone too far. She's so close. I just have to find a way to keep her here. I love you. So his wife didn't want to be brought back, even though she knew about the capability, and didn't want that for Spooky either. But in the end, he couldn't bring himself to honor that request. Locked. Now, something happened to those possessed babies, but remember, the other doll is still out here. I've also been wondering about the significance of the empty frames that adorn the walls. I can leave you here if need be. What if we check the map? Electric barrier. More of you. Does that mean that you can hatch at any time? I don't like this. I like this significantly less. After everything it's already thrown at us, it's... Was that sound that picture falling off the wall? After everything it's thrown at us, it takes a lot of nerve to try and bring us back to the anxious walk through empty halls, yet here we are. A doll is a timeless thing, in the shape of a human, but created perfect, immortal and unmoving, yet hollow, devoid of soul, a fitting symbol, and possibly usable device for our goals here. Soon I will have you back, my dear. But first I must make sure it won't constrict you. Possibly a concern that he had after seeing the other subject's reaction, feeling constrained by the vessels that they put him in. She turns to face me as I walk. That's not just a shifting sprite, she is actually turning her head to face me. Doll hands. There are several broken doll parts and a pair of plastic clasped hands that appear to be holding something. They're slightly melted together. Pick it up? Well, I didn't come here to not pick stuff up. But what will those do for me? Now, when you think about it, this is really the heart of everything that was happening in the base game. Spooky was trying to harvest souls, presumably using the same method as her father. But of course she had very different goals in mind, but you can see how this all started. Now it only makes sense then that these are the deepest parts of the facility. And apparently this leads to the furnace. And if we go back, we can find a room that is quite ominously labeled Clown. We've yet to hear from our doll friend in this area, so maybe he'll be our new stalker for the region? I haven't told anyone yet, but I think this place is haunted. There are like these strange moaning sounds all the time. Like a moan, but also like, whoa, you know? So, moaning. And there was this painting that I kept staring at that I think was changing. Now, I definitely took note of that one when I came in. It looked like a baby who had just noticed something that it thinks might be scary, but hadn't yet decided on a reaction. Let's try it. as I stare at it, to me, it's starting to look like the colors are becoming a little more vibrant and that maybe its face is starting to sag more, but I honestly don't know if that's the game or if it's just me anticipating some kind of change. But it almost looks like the wrinkles are becoming more pronounced, doesn't it? And like there's been some change in the eyes? I don't know, what do you think, Dolly? It almost looks like it's decaying in front of me. But if it is, it's so slow that I just can't notice any change. But this definitely looks more decrepit than when I started. It's so gradual, but yes, it's definitely different. Because it was so much clearer when I started. That's crazy. The change has been totally imperceptible. But I can't deny now that it is changing. What happens when we see it all the way through? How will I know when it's all the way through? I've been staring at it for a while now, and I'm just not sure if it's still changing, although this baby now looks almost entirely mummified. And it could just be me, but it almost seems like its gaze has turned to stare directly at me. Look at that. Now I guess the question is, A, does that serve me in any way, and B, what happens if I look away? And for some reason I really don't like turning my back to it. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's super creepy. Honestly, that's one of my favorite subtle scares of all time now. Because you walk in, you'll probably take note of it because it's different from the others, and it's just a little bit eerie. But then you read that note saying, yeah, I think there's something wrong with that painting. And I just feel my stomach drop just that little bit. But my curiosity gets the better of me. Oh my. Oh my. I did not expect that mini heart attack to be as strong as it was, and I don't like how you've moved within that cage even as I was looking at you. My doll clearly doesn't like this. To keep the dolls happy, we created this party room. We even summoned a spirit to entertain them, but this experiment has failed miserably. You couldn't source a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic or something? The dolls hate it here, and seem totally freaked out around the clown. I requested the document on how it was found, and apparently they tried to summon a happy human ghost, but instead got something else. It looks human, it acts human, but just to be safe, we installed a cage. Just what did they summon? This is the perfect balance between terrifying and leaving just the right amount to the imagination, giving it a real purpose, a real reason to be here beyond just to scare the player, and yet it's so utterly terrifying looking, and with a backstory that explains the how, but not the what. Okay, I imagine you'll be free once I access the lab door, right? I'm not looking forward to that. You seem to be doing better now, though. It looks like your health drain isn't permanent. Let's put you here. The furnace. It said the hands seem to be slightly melted together. Does this mean that we can place you in there? Maybe... Yeah, put the plastic hands in, and then we can close it and set you alight to retrieve whatever they're holding. Let's just look behind us to make sure that nothing comes in while we're waiting. Did you move? I can definitely hear something. This DLC is honestly doing such a great job, even though it had sort of an unsubtle start, of somehow explaining everything and yet still leaving so much unknown. By introducing this process that, as far as we can tell, works, but even the people doing it don't really understand why it works, or what exactly is happening when they execute this process. The doll hands have melted away, revealing a small metal key. And of course I want to pick that up. Oh, spooky.
Hey. I was thinking you might want some help.
Yeah.
So, I moved all those dolls out of the way. Well, have fun.
First of all, those weren't dolls to my perception. And second, you appear to have blocked my exit, Spooky. Maybe the electric wall will move them? Okay, so I have to find some way to reactivate the power, I suppose? Maybe if I place you here. No! No! That did not work at all. Okay. Well, that room is now inaccessible for the foreseeable future, unless we sprint our way right on through. Okay, what are we looking for now? Well, that's an inconvenience. That was all of them. It seems like they're stimulated by electricity, then. She did that on purpose. She set that up for me. And now I have no way of reaching a save point. I don't know where another music box is. No! I walked in and didn't see them immediately, and for some reason I just, like... I guess I lack object permanence. No! No, that's not allowed, that's not allowed, that's not allowed, that's not allowed, that's not allowed. But she's still afraid as if he's here. I don't know what to do now. Is there something else that I maybe have to burn? Something else I need to read? Something to do with you? Now, part of the reason I'm walking back and forth so much is because I'm kind of wondering if maybe the clown won't appear as a patrolling enemy like the doll did. Did it come from in here? God, I do not like that sound one bit. But he's not here. Imagine if he was in that corner right there. Even the harvested souls are afraid of him. Run on through. Oh, but I can get through again. Just have to run past you guys. I have to save as soon as possible. Now, we have access to all that. We don't have access to what's beyond here. Oh, no, I did unlock it. Okay. But before I worry about that, I'm going to go save. Now, having saved, let's see what's beyond the door. The labs themselves. Oh, this is quite a large area as well. Yeah, I'm trying to get a feel for the layout. Maybe here we can actually get some answers. We can't interact with these computers, though. Can we play some arcade games? Rip Doug. In memory of Doug, 1964 to 86, GL Labs associate. Congratulations, Doug. GL Labs has chosen you to volunteer for a special assignment. We're sending you deep into the earth to excavate the area for our new department. Look out for ghosts and old skeletons down there. Good luck. How low can you go? I see, so it's like Dig Dug. And our goal is to just keep descending lower? No. Okay, what's our objective then? Is it to find the ghosts? So I can fire, but only if I have the space to do so. Ow. And that's how Doug died. Get ready, dog. -3 fathoms. Okay, so from what I'm gathering, this is basically the story of, like, the intern that they sent down to, I guess, scout the tunnels that would eventually become the GL Labs. Haha, I got you. So it only ends once I've destroyed all the ghosts. So I can shoot vertically, good. Alright. Come on, this way. Right, this way. Just need lots of room. And 1 to go. So I guess the way we'll handle this is by... Oh, unless you move like that. Let's clear out as much space as possible so we'll have room to engage you. Nope, up, 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 up! Why wouldn't it let me go up all of a sudden? I'm probably on my last life now, right? Get ready, Fleshy. Okay. You're chasing me downward now. Wait. Only one ghost here? Get ready, noob. Yep, guys. This is the horror gameplay and commentary you all come here for. Now I'm so nostalgic for Dig Dug, I want to play it again. You seem to pick up the pace a little bit when you catch sight of me. I'm getting so good at Rip Dug. You appear to be trapped against the surface. Oh, I can shoot you through the dirt! Oh, I didn't know that! I assumed I couldn't! That's so ridiculous. Alright, get more of whatever you are. Oh, but sometimes I can't? Spawn killed. And die. I'm having so much fun with Rip Dug. This is ridiculous. Okay, guys, I promise I'm not going to spend too long on this. Do I get, like, a better ending or something if I do really well at this? I don't know what these cakes are that are spawning on the side of the screen. By this point, I can fire so fast that I can just kind of pin you in place. I don't even need that much lead up. Yeah, I knew that would get me. Alright. Alright. Enough of this. Let's figure out what's actually going on down here. Whoa, we really have entered into Lost in Vivo. Escape tram? Okay, we'll keep that in mind, but not before we've explored the rest of this. I'm far too curious for that. And remember, back in the West Wing, there is also a door that requires a keycard. Yeah, but something else is loose over here. Hopefully now that doll project is over, I'll get transferred back to the surface facility soon. It's been very interesting, but I generally fear for my life every day. That's not ideal job security. There's no kind of security when you work for Spooky. Is this like some kind of AI-generated motivational poster? I can't interact with these computers, only the paper. We abandoned the doll idea of tethering the subject to a physical object, and instead we sealed her spirit within the mansion itself. Her abilities within the facility should be incredible. The director would be pleased with the outcome of his sacrifice. His sacrifice? Did I miss something? So it doesn't say what one of these doors is. Oh no! One of these doors is the escape tram, but the other, it leads to a whole other area, including rooms which are labeled Spirit Seal and Hellgate Source. Are we playing Doom now? Because I don't think I can kill that fast with my axe. It's another one of these. Ever since what happened with the doll, how we released it, I'm so hesitant to actually open those doors. But it wants me to leave you here. I believe this was the room that was labeled Spirit Seal. Access card required, okay. We're slightly more linearly locked than I thought. Okay, wait here. I'll be back. No. And I've fallen through the floor. Into a dark void. Oh, this is the root cellar. The one that was pointed out on the map before. Okay, let me just light this candle. I have nothing to light it with. Okay, I've got to find some way to light this. There's got to be something, right? Oh, it's so dark and foggy down here. But I think this is where that door led. I think this goes back to the West Wing, does it not? No map of the area. I'm flying blind. This is like Lost in Vivo and Cry of Fear all in one. Access card required. Oh no, so many doors. Not opening. Not opening. Oh, it's a maze. And it's been so long since I saved. These draw distances are just leaving me with no conception of how big this area is. These spirits get so temperamental. We keep having to perform rituals to keep them in check. When they act out, it's necessary to inflict pressure on the husk inhabited by the spirit. Don't forget that these dolls are not real people. That's not what you said. That's not what you said at all. You said that these were spirits that you harvested from the afterlife. You said that most of them were children when they died, and in fact, the whole purpose of this program is to bring back a specific person. Locked. Need some kind of emblem. Certainly seeing the Resident Evil inspiration here. This room's more brightly lit than the others. It's some sort of strange sculpture. With X-shaped scarring on the back. But what does that mean? I'm still thinking about when the other shoe is going to drop on that clown. The other clown shoe, if you will. But honestly, even if we never see it again, I would consider that one of the best done sources of anxiety in one of these games. And it seems here that the writer suffered a fatal heart attack as writing this. The interact hand keeps coming up on the screen and scaring me. I never expect it to appear, and the way it moves across the screen is so smooth and linked to my own looking. This seems like the kind of place where there might be a chase. This really seems like the kind of place where there might be a chase. What are these things? They look like some kind of screen or something would fit within. Another black candle. The note said we keep having to perform rituals to keep them in check. Are you another of the dolls? A life-size doll hangs here by several silver hooks. There's a metal pinwheel piece glued to them. Tear it off? No, not for now. Not until I have a better idea of what this place is like. I don't know what the pinwheel would do at this time. Unless maybe it's the emblem needed for that door? In any case, I'll definitely have to study the path back. A heavy metal plate over a narrow hole. It looks like it can slide shut. Move the plate. All of this seems like preparation for something that's going to come. And I really feel like I should know what these things will do. Like, it really matters what order I do these things in. Okay, I suppose we could slide the metal plate shut. What are you? Metal pinwheel piece picked up. So I suppose, since it's just a piece, maybe I need to get the rest from the doll? Okay, we have to drill for this. Once we find the doll, we're going to run forward, right? Make a right, and then it's all the way down and on the left. And then from there, I think we're just going to keep making lefts. The question is, will our stamina be able to hold up? I don't think so. Let's wait for our stamina to replenish. And now you're going to get up. But not chase me. Well, that was quite a terrifying animation. As I walk out, I'm going to continue to watch my sprint, because if I hear the music suddenly change, I'll know that you've entered the area. What is the significance of these things? They look like a mirror or a screen or something should be contained within. Well, let's unlock this. No, it's still locked. It's still locked. There's something more that needs to be done. Something more that needs to be found. Perhaps I need the stick that the pinwheel rests upon. She's not here anymore. She's not here anymore. That is nothing but fantastic. Having a real where's the spider moment. I'm not afraid of a spider in my room, but I am afraid of looking away from one and then looking back and finding it now absent. That was just a hunch. I feel like I really pissed something off just now. But now we have the final metal pinwheel piece, and I'm ready to run for that door once we open this. Yes, okay. Let us through. It's been quite a time since we last saved. Another black candle. And a lab's keycard. Meaning we can now access some of these doors. But now that I know she's gone, I know she could appear at any time. Here we are. That doesn't look inviting. And remember the one from the previous DLC. And just like the previous DLC, I'm not comforted by the narrow range of light that I can see within. Once again, jump scared by the hand indicator. But here we are in the West Wing again. Is it going to be... I want to know if it's the... Yeah, it's you again. Okay, I can get through. Let me through. Ugh. You know, I've been away from my doll for quite a long time. I wonder what she's up to. Save. Oh, that is such a relief. But I've got to get back to the doll. Yeah. Oh, you guys are back, huh? I didn't even read what that said, other than the fingers cut apart. But now we're back in the geolabs. Where did I leave her? Through here, I think? You've been tossed back outside. Can I pick you up? Thank you. Are you doing that because you're out of health, or are you doing that because the clown is nearby? Okay, hang on. Let's get you healed up. Oh! What was that? What was that? That was a new one. Am I to assume that's my doll buddy? Or is that perhaps something that happens when, something that happens when my doll's health is at 0? If that's the case, all the more reason to take care of her, I suppose. Let's get that back up. Oh, this game keeps finding new ways to terrify me. Now, where was I going here? I don't remember. What needed a key card? This may have needed one? No, we can't access this at all anymore. Fine by me. But we can access this now. This was the Hellgate. 3 candles are missing. Yeah, the ones we found down below. It's locked. They have a Sega Genesis. What game do we have for this? Error, doll spirit interference, place outside room. So I can play this if there's no interference from a doll spirit. Okay. The Kira Genesis is just about fried. We've summoned far too many spirits for it to handle. Even returning them might collapse the gate. So I moved 3 of the ritual candles into the root cellar. That should deter any more summoning for now. Spooky will probably order someone to go get them, but that's not my problem. And odds are they wouldn't survive down there anyway. Okay. I find it so funny that they had to put a stop to the office ghost summoning so that they could play some Genesis games. Well, I can place you there and head back down into the root cellar. Or I can come through here to the spirit seal.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
I don't like it here.
Me either.
You should probably just leave. There's nothing for you here. Just leave.
I mean, I was kind of hoping to take you with me after everything I've learned. The seal is almost complete, and then you can return to me. It requires a nightmare to work, so I'll surrender mine. The same nightmare that took you from us will now bring you back. That must be him. He looks pretty good for someone who died in the 60s or 70s. But what is this? The seal can be turned off. But if I do this, I'll have to let the doll spirit go. There's no going back after this. Erase the nightmare? So when you say let go, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think for the sake of completeness, before I do this, I'm going to head back down to the root cellar and try to get those candles. Before I do that, though, let's at least see what the escape train looks like. Can I really just go? This train looks like it goes all the way back to the surface. Start the train? So, I can either take the doll spirit with me, or I can end the nightmare. Whatever that means, and let the doll spirit go. Again, whatever that means. the absolute last place I wanted to be. But maybe if I can retrieve those candles. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to grab one of those candles, and if it still doesn't let me pick them up, I'm just going to assume that I can't. My movement speed is so slow now. Got one. She's definitely here with me. But that's just one. No! One is where she came from. Oh, why is this game running so poorly? There's a pair of eyes on the ground! Why is it running so poorly all of a sudden? Eyes, if you'll remember, were a recurring image in Lost in Vivo as well. There was a candle here. The last one was back the way I came, all the way in the beginning. No, out of my way, out of my way, out of my way. Where am I going? Where am I going? You can hit me in... You can't hit me during that screen. That's not fair. Okay, I'm gonna have to abort. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to abort to heal. And then I'll come back. Sorry, people are probably really mad that I'm padding out the runtime like this. As we get closer to making our choice, and I do still have to make one more trip down into the cellar. I want to expand again on just how the game manages to make you feel this attachment to what is essentially an inanimate object. I mean, I talked before about how you see it as a lifeline, as a source of health and healing, and something that you always want to keep close to you at all times. And when it runs out, you kind of have to take care of it. Okay, well, I'll leave you here. You're close to the basement, which is all that matters. And the last thing I can think to try is the room through the pinwheel, which I believe I remember how to access. Yep, there you are. We have to come through here, I think. Yep. Sneaky trick, just spawning it right in front of me. Through here. And here is the final black candle, yes. That's all of them, and all I need to do is get out. And we can play some Genesis games. Some Sonic Spinball. Sonic and Knuckles. All the Sonics, really. Let's see what else was on there. There was that one Jurassic Park game where you could play as a Velociraptor. I think I may be going the wrong way, though. No, this is not anything that I've seen before. Oh, there we go. That seemed like a much longer path out than expected. Okay. Go get my daughter. Alright, come on. We're going. We're going. I just wish I knew what release meant. We could just take her with us, but honestly, the question is, does she even want to be here? And from what we've seen, the answer is probably no. I think this is the way to end this. Especially if all the other spirits we've seen are also extracted in the same way. The seal can be turned off, but if I do this, I'll have to let the doll spirit go. There's no going back after this. Erase the nightmare. Yeah. It was a nightmare. The night I saw the devil. That looks like the chair we sat in the hospital. Was I... That was wearing what looked like a German World War II era helmet. This is a World War II era rifle, so... Is this meant to be some kind of, like, PTSD flashback? These things move so quickly. And the walls are only loading in one segment at a time. I only have 3 bullets left. Where are you? That's it, I'm out. Okay, I can reload. Where are you? They're hitting me from behind fairly frequently as well. Dead end. Oh, I don't like this, but maybe this long hall is something. Oh, I understand. I was the veteran mentioned in the note in the previous DLC. Someone is sleeping here. Plant the gun on them. But we have no choice. I can't lose you. I will bring you back. Wait, I'm not quite sure what that means. So, the gun was planted. So, but what we were seeing... Oh no.
Warning. The facility.
Nope. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Seconds.
No, 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 no. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? All the way back. All the way back. All the way back. Oh, I never planted the candles. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and do that. That is so annoying. After all the time I spent on that... Let me through. No. No. No! There's no time. Let me through. I had no choice but to attack. Let's go. Oh, I'm so annoyed that I didn't place those candles. I got so caught up in the endgame. Are we free? Based on everything we've seen, it should take much longer to get out of here. It's a long ride back to the surface. With the seal broken, the spirits trapped in the mansion can go free. However, the gate to hell was left open. A flood of terror spills outward. The horrors that... I didn't get to read that! Come on! Okay, no, I'm obviously going back, right? I'm obviously going back. Is it because I didn't place the candles? Was the Sega Genesis really that important to the continued safety of the world as we know it? I really hope it lets us load that last save. Okay, yeah. Okay. I have the candles. We're good. The only question is, if we come back here, will we ever get an answer to what that clicking in this room is? Now, as I see it, there's probably 3 different endings that we can get. Now, out of my way. One will be that I just take the doll on the tram and leave, so maybe we'll get that first. I'd imagine that's another bad ending, right? You and me are getting out of here. You and me against the world. And remind me to read the thing more quickly next time. That doesn't sound good. And that doesn't look good. Maybe we're not getting out of here. Oh, it's you! The final boss that I suppose in this run I canonically did not fight. Hi. Only cry tomato tears. I don't know what that means, but I guess we'll be restarting then. Alright, this time you will wait here. We will go inside and place the ritual candles. Whatever that means. This door is still locked, but we can play the Sega Genesis now. Warning, any further spirit returns will result in Hellgate collapse. Okay. Oh. I can summon the various ghosts from the original game. Spirit already active, lead back to Hellgate source to return. So, when you show up, does that mean that I need to bring you into here? No? Okay, wait, what's the Hellgate then? This is the... Oh, wait, no, we gotta get you to that door. I see. I see. I lost a lot of health for nothing. You're a difficult one, though. I've never been good with these types of enemies. I want you to spawn, but I want to keep you within my sight. I wonder if the maze will be different depending on who it is that I'm running from. No. Oh, come on. Okay, what do I do now? What do I do? I know where you are. But I don't know if my vision stays on you through walls, or if you can move when it's like this. Is this where I came from? I think it is. I just can't tell, though. There's also another shadow present that I keep seeing. But what does it mean? He's gonna get me, he's gonna get me, he's gonna get me. Oh, ow! I don't know where I'm going! Dead end. Where do I go? It's gonna get me. It's gonna get me. It's gonna get me. Yep. I don't know where I'm going. Let's start with something easy. Now you're in the room. And let's run. And as I suspected, we will have different places depending on who we actually activate. You were the one who could mess with sight. Although you're doing it a bit differently. Oh, I hate this so much. I believe you were the one who was changing the textures of the walls before, were you not? Seems a little unfair, if we're being honest. I hate that. So difficult. The other guy works more or less the same as in the base game, but this is very different. I don't think we've seen this effect in particular before. But, you know, this is a game that's doing a good job of being self-referential right now, because horror games often, what they have to do is try and train a response in the player. And so, after being away for what would have been about 5 years from the game at this point, players have probably started to think they're never going to have to deal with these entities again. And so, to have them reappear in this way, you know, you come into these segments already with that pre-existing fear that, oh no, I have to deal with this again? Ah. No. Ow. I have no stamina. Okay, we have to be getting close. This is going on for so long. No. Oh, I hate this so much. I hate anything that messes with, like, the player's screen, the player's vision. No, where am I going? Once again, it seems to end in, like, nothing. Am I going back the opposite way right now? Is that what's happening? No! Through here? I'm low on health. It just goes on forever. Go, go, go. I have to be reaching the end. I have to be. Where am I going? It's like it's just looping at this point. This has got to end at some point. We're back in the school. The school where she was the first time around. Come on. No, I will not come here. No, and you can come through walls, so that's a little bit stupid. When you loop around like that, it makes it a little bit impossible. Let's go. Come on. This has got to be it. This is it, this is it, this is it, this is it. Come on. And away you go. Easy peasy. It's like fishing. Ah, and that was the easy one. I really hope Puppet Boy doesn't take that long. Alright, who's next? It's broken. It's broken. It's locked. We can't do another one. Okay, so we've returned somebody, but we don't have to return all three. I'm not sure what that means for us. Now I'm going to operate under the assumption that whatever we just did was final. I don't know if that means there will be different endings depending on which specimen we chose, but I think this is what we have to do. And now I'll have to play through that flashback segment one more time, but I'm not going to make you guys sit through that unless something is different. Alright, we've once again planted the gun, and now we have to get out of here. This time having led one of the specimens to the gate.
35.
Of course, it had to throw one more of those at us on the way out. Tram room. And will we once again encounter that spirit? What looks to be a kid in a Halloween costume, much like Spooky was. We have no choice. And up and away we go. And now with no doll to remind me, I'll have to remember myself to read that outro faster this time. The mansion itself wasn't destroyed. With the seal broken, the spirits trapped within the mansion can now go on. And with the Hellgate shut, the terrors that seeped through began to fade away. Spooky has moved on and rests with her parents now. Somehow. Despite all the horror within the mansion, you brought peace, whatever. Sure, fine. Oh, I love that. You actually get to see her crack a smile here. And just think, it was 5 years between the previous DLC and this one. Think of how long people waited to see this, people who had been with this from the beginning. In a way, the length of time between the end of one story and the next must serve to make this even more satisfying. That was really good. There were some things that annoyed me, and, you know, it had a little bit of a negative slant to it the entire time, just because I inherently do not like mazes. But honestly, this was one of the better experiences in a while. I particularly liked the more subtle scares that were present in this one. For example, the clown. It built up such an ominous presence to that clown. He escaped off screen, and then we never saw him again, leaving us feeling his presence the entire time, and yet anticipating his return all throughout, and never giving us the satisfaction of any kind of closure on that. Tilda Swinton? What is Tilda Swinton doing with this? Not to mention, this was also a much more involved DLC than the previous one. I mean, I felt like Karamari Hospital, it was kind of cool, but it was pretty short, and it really only culminated in one little note that was really more of a preview for this DLC. But this was a lot more involved, it told us a lot more, and in the end, it finally gave us a conclusion after the non-conclusion of the original game. Original release November 1st, 2014. This DLC came out December 2020. Or thereabouts. So maybe October. So yeah, it really was like 6 years from one conclusion to the next. And in that way, I feel like it's such a release. You know, I mean, people don't like these endings these days, but I really like endings that wrap everything up in a neat little bow. And this, just that image in the background. What is that but a neat little bow? For everyone, not just for people who like the cuteness, not just for people who like the scares, but for people who really wanted to see a conclusion for both the player and for Spooky herself. But anyway, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to do that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game and its DLCs out for yourself, that link will also be down in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Oh wait, but before I go, there's still one thing I don't understand. The story had set up that Spooky, who always liked to scare people, one day took it too far, attempting to prank a veteran with PTSD with fireworks, who then shot her. Now, that's consistent with what we saw in that nightmare, and yet we planted the gun. Now, that seemed like a twist, but that doesn't make sense to me, unless maybe that nightmare was her father's nightmare. Something that he came up with to maybe he is the one that shot her for the same reason, but he planted it on a veteran who the same story would make sense for. I don't know. I feel like there's something that's not clicking with me there. But anyway, maybe you can let me know in the comments